Hey guys, and welcome to another video. In this one I'm going to be reviewing TakeDown Red Saber in 2016. Alright, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time just right here talking about this title and what it brings to the table. Alright, so number one, first of all, it's the only tactical shooter that's out right now that's modern. Alright, in other words, that's been released anytime in the recent history, besides Ground Branch, which is still in development. Okay. So for the most part, this is what the most modern kind of shooter that we have. Arma 3 being a milsim is in a kind of different category, but being true to the original Rainbow Six or Raven Shield, this was supposed to be the spiritual successor for that. So it has encountered a lot of criticism over the past couple of years since it came out, and I want to do a fresh perspective and really give it a fair and honest review, comparing it to the original Rainbow Six or the Rainbow Six series as well as Ghost Recon. So just a little background: Serellan actually worked on Ghost Recon 2 according to an interview with IGN. He also was a modder for Raven Shield by his own admission, and then he was hired on to work on, I think, Iron Wrath, the expansion, free expansion pack for the Rainbow Six 3. Now everyone would agree that Rainbow Six 3 is still the epitome or platinum standard for counterterrorism CQB operations. I would also say that SWAT 3 is the platinum standard for SWAT operations and probably has the best friendly AI in close quarters combat. So as I play this, I just kind of want to demonstrate TakeDown. One final note: when obviously the game was released in kind of a buggy fashion, not kind of, it was buggy. The AI, the sounds would come from the opposite direction. AI would get stuck, and that still happens every once in a while. But there's no disputing that the game was released in an unfinished state, and Serellan even did a post-mortem video and gave the reasons for that. Mainly pressure from the publisher to get it released. Now the game's only about $5 right now, and I would say it's absolutely worth that. At the end of the review, I'll talk about this game's definitely worth the money that you pay for it. It doesn't have a single player campaign, and it's certainly it's certainly a co-op oriented game, but it's worth the price that you pay for it. Alright, so let me get down these stairs here real quick. I like to clear from the bottom floor up, or actually, you know what, let's actually clear the second floor first, because I think the way the level design is, it's very open, much like a Rainbow Six game. Guy right there. Okay, one thing I do is, as I'm clearing this, I'll tell my guys to holding position. And if I tell them, I think if you look in that direction and you press the H key, they will look in the direction that you have them. I think a lot of people don't know that you can actually make them hold without using the little Z menu pop-up right here. But they will cover a certain direction if you press the H key and tell them to hold. There's a great demonstration of how sound is actually really good in this. It's based on the new Unreal Engine, so it's a good engine. Jeez, you can see how that guy took cover behind that little thing there. I'm gonna throw out a wow, I'm surprised they got him. You can see that guy did take cover. They move kind of quickly. They like to side strafe back and forth. One thing I haven't seen in any modern tactical shooter, whether it's Rainbow Six, SWAT 3, maybe they do this, is really barricading in position, kind of, and leaning out and actually ambushing a doorway, either each doorway. So That's one thing that's missing in all tactical shooters, but I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video, and I'm sorry I'm getting distracted because I'm actually playing this. As you can see, while I'm playing this, it's a very tense experience, and it does remind me of the original Rainbow Six, SWAT 3, that same type of feeling, that tension that you get playing these. You can also sprint in this, which is kind of a Call of Duty thing, but I'm all for it. I think they should have sprint. I'm not sure if they had that in the original release. I think they actually added that, maybe by request later. Alright, so Takedown, right? The subsequent patches after the game was released in a buggy kind of mess, Serellan did say that it fixed a lot of the AI issues, and he frankly felt that it wasn't fair that the game wasn't given a chance, and they really patched it up, and this is the patched up version. So I'm not really seeing too many issues with AI. Every once in a while your friendly AI will get caught up somewhere or something like that. But if you look at this, you can, well, let's compare it to the original Rainbow Six. I'm talking like the classic. The AI would frequently get stuck. They were completely ineffective in Rainbow Six Original. Rogue Spear made some improvements where the AI would have better pathfinding, they wouldn't get stuck. And Takedown essentially feels like those early iterations of a tactical shooter. Alright, now, there's a guy that
we lost one. Going high. Tango eliminated.
Oh, I lost this guy. So those guys came out of nowhere. I guess they're doing their patrols and stuff like that. But if you compare this to some of the original titles, it's played with the same issues. All right, the AI aren't that great. All right, same thing. Ghost Recon Classic. I think the AI in Ghost Recon Classic have a great cover system when they're on fire. It has a great suppression system, but enemies will still stay out in the open and things like that. I have yet to see really effective defensive tactics that don't look like, you know, a Call of Duty multiplayer game where guys are just like, you know, side strafing back and forth, kind of like this. I'd love to see barricading in position or using cover and shooting behind cover, much like in Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, or Earned in Blood, where the enemy will peek behind cover and they will just kind of, you know, suppress an area wherever they suspect the enemy is. So giving this a fair chance, you know, it really is not that bad. All right, it's actually pretty good, considering the patches and all the fixes that were made. So moving on from AI, the graphics are obviously fine. The one thing that I will note about this title is the smoothness of controls are incredible. It actually feels very smooth, very much like a first-person shooter. And you move in a very methodical and slow pace. I'm going to get a flashbang in here if I can. Alright, actually, I don't have flashbangs in this one. I'm just going to throw a grenade in there. Those grenade sounds are really weak. That's something that should have been changed. You barely hear it. So my point is in all this is that the AI is not too different from early iterations of the first tactical shooters. All right. Again, it wasn't until Rainbow Six 3 where the AI really started to shine, specifically Melee's mod and Raven Shield 2.0, which incorporated Melee's mod, and all it did was increase the stats a lot for your friendly AI. I've always felt that your friendly AI operators have always been underpowered and underskilled in many ways, and that appears to be the same issue that's happening here. So the point is, this is not too different than early tactical shooters. The problem with this is that it's not supposed to be an early tactical shooter, early iteration of a tactical shooter. It's supposed to be a modern one, and the AI are supposed to be incredible in this. and they're not so much, but they're not horrible either. All right, it's certainly comparable to the early titles. I wish I had more flashbangs with me. So one of the tweaks that I'm using, tell this guy to hold here. Cover that back door. Oh God! That was not a bad tactic. I thought he was going that way, and he actually came back around this way. You can see how hardcore it is. It actually is very difficult. The AI tend to move around a lot and try to flank you and use tactics. I'll hack this server real quick here. All right, so comparing the enemy AI, they're pretty similar to other tactical shooters. Let me move on to this area here. And let's see if we can get downstairs. Now you can pick this up for only $5 on Steam right now. It's certainly worth that. I would say that it's probably worth retail value around $20. It doesn't have a single player campaign or anything like that, but it's certainly I think worth more than the $5. The only reason it is at that price point was because of all of the glitches and bugginess of it when it was released. But you know, to give it a fair retail value, I think it's worth more than what they're asking. And a lot of times it's on sale for $2, so you can get it for quite cheap. If you like tactical shooters, hold on one sec here. If you like tactical shooters,
Make sure you don't get flanked.
you know, I suggest you actually pick this up if it's a couple bucks or $5. It is a milestone, whether good or bad, in the tactical shooter history. All right, and it's certainly whoever comes out with the next one, whether it's Ground Branch or some other company, they certainly will learn from this. When the game was released, I'd give it easily like a 5 out of 10. You know, maybe a 6 out of 10 or something like that. At this point, I'd actually give it like a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. Rainbow Six 3 ranks up there at 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 as far as a tactical shooter goes. So, oh man, this is a lot of what you see in takedown videos. Just, you know, guys usually getting shot and wrecked by the AI just because they're difficult, and that is something that's plagued tactical shooters from the beginning. AK sniper fire over accuracy. It's a way to compensate for poor AI with and make it quote unquote hardcore with just with super accuracy and aimbot. You know, whatever you want to call it. It's certainly present in this. Again, that is something that developers have used from the beginnings of tactical shooters to compensate for AI that's not that great and not coded that great. I'm going to do a video soon on the Fear series to demonstrate the incredible AI in that, their ability to use cover, suppressive fire, flank, communicate with one another, and it really is impressive. So I'll do that sometime soon here. So just talking about takedown, I mean, that's pretty much all the points that I want to make. I think you guys should certainly check it out if you haven't already. If you own it and it hasn't been patched up, you know, check it out. All right, let's see what this guy does. Oh, he went out the other side.
Tango eliminated.
It must have been somebody else. I don't know how I got up on that keyboard. It's weird. There we go. He's using cover pretty effectively there, and just kind of, he wasn't leaning, but he was peeking behind cover and trying to eliminate me. Some of the, you know, unfortunately, you know, when this was released, it really didn't pick up momentum, and people just judged it. The Cynical Brit actually did a really good review before it was released. I think he just played a preview of it, And I think he does a really thorough job of talking about the excitement behind this and everything. It's funny, I was able to close that door. See the tango right there, and oh, and the mirror. Oh, great. So the final thing is I'll include some tweaks that I've actually done. There's a guy named I think it's TakeDown Elite, and he has a video where he shows you a lot of tweaks that you can do. You can up the flashbang count up to 12, which I have. You can see on the lower right hand corner you can't see the 12 because it's blocked out, but you know, I assume 3 flashbangs per team member would add up to 12, and you're carrying them. You can set that to whatever you want in the INI files. You can also lower the accuracy of the enemies. The default is 750, and I have it down to 250, so it's about 25%. 100 obviously would be 100% accurate. And that helps out a lot in tweaking that. No different than Ghost Recon, Droopy's AI mod, or Melis's mod, which helps assist with the AI. So there's a few tweaks that I recommend that you do. Some graphical tweaks that you can adjust the field of view and things like that. I'll tell these guys to hold real quick. We'll disarm the spawn real quick. So just lowering the accuracy makes it a lot better. It's still, you can see, very, very difficult. But the other thing it does, which is really impressive, that tweak, is it increases the hearing distance for the enemy AI. I don't know if you can hear them talking. Jeez. As we move around and make noise and shoot, and the enemy AI makes contact, they Jeez, I'm stuck in this reloading animation. They will hear you, and you'll hear them kind of talking to each other and asking where contact's coming from, or just supporting each other and things like that. So it's pretty dynamic the way they're communicating with each other. Anyway, give this a second chance if you haven't. Hopefully, this is a fair review in 2016 with the patch version, and just looking at it with some constructive criticism in comparison to the early tactical titles and what we currently have. So if this was moddable, I think the community would really, especially if they could modify the source code. We could really make some awesome changes, but unfortunately it's not. So alright, I'm gonna try. Oh, this guy only has 2. See, a perfect example, he's just standing out in the open instead of actually taking cover there. Alright. Yeah, pretty dangerous AI. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I know it was kind of, you know, long-winded, but those are my thoughts. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will do a Fear AI review sometime really soon. That was awful. Plus the fact that it's it's really early in the morning. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.